Welcome back. Now, our next guest believes that if a record doesn't make you think, laugh or dance, and ideally all three, then it's a waste of vinyl or perhaps CD in these times. Singer Kirsty MacColl hopes she's perfected the art with her latest single, My Affair. We'll be seeing Kirsty's new video in just a moment, but first let's say hello to the lady herself. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good to see you. Now, My Affair, is it about anything in your life, or is it just about life in general?
It's well, it's sort of, you know, it's supposed to be written on two bases, and there's the kind of possibility that this woman's having an affair, and there's also the kind of aspect of she's just sort of saying, well, it's my business and nobody's going to tell me what to do, you know. It's asserting her independence.
Yes. Is that something that you've had to do? Because it says here that you have control over all aspects of your career.
Yeah, I'm just too stroppy to put up with other people making my mistakes for me.
Are you stroppy? Are you hard to work with?
No, I think I'm quite fair, really.
Mm. Has it been difficult, though, like from when you first started? Was it hard for record companies to kind of put you into a category? Because they usually try and do that.
Well, I think they want sort of two kinds of women. They want the complete bimbos who just do as they're told and wear the dresses, you know. And then they want, on the other hand, they think that if you're not one of those, then you must be one of these sort of sociological soapbox queens, you know.
Yes.
Sort of.
And there's nothing in between?
Well, no, exactly, and I don't really think I fit into any of that. So.
Has it got easier now, though, than it was when you first started?
I suppose a few people have got used to me doing it, so it's sort of, they leave me alone to get on with it more, really.
You've also been doing other things away from music. You did the BBC Byline piece on water pollution. How did you manage to get into that? What was that?
Well, I was approached by a company who said, do you want to make a TV programme on absolutely anything?
Oh, brilliant.
And all my friends said, you know, oh, go on, you're so sort of like, you know, into these various causes, you ought to do something. And water pollution was the one that I picked, and I didn't think they'd go for it, really, but they did.
No, it was good, and what was quite strange as well, which goes by what you were talking about earlier, was the fact that some people were surprised that a musician and a female musician could actually have opinions on serious issues as well. It's as if you're not allowed to, almost.
Well, I think that, you know, there's a tendency to sort of take the mickey out of any sort of pop stars who stand up for anything they believe in, and whether it's Sting doing the rainforest or me doing the water pollution, you know, there's a bit of a tendency to kind of like, oh, well, what do they know, you know? Yeah. But I think, I mean, if politicians had all the answers, everything would be perfect, wouldn't it? So.
Yes, indeed it would. Indeed it would. Is it because, I mean, is that something you've been interested in for a long time, or is it because you've got two children now? Does that make it more relevant to you, or do you worry about things like that more? Well,
I think anybody's got half a brain worries about the idea of ruining the planet, you know, and certainly when you've got kids, you sort of, you don't want to think about us leaving a huge mess behind for them. I think that's really it.
When you made the programme, did you go into making the programme with an idea? Did you change your stance or your point of view, or was it just reinforced what you thought originally?
Well, it reinforced a lot of it, but it was a bit depressing as well, because it was so much worse than I'd thought in the first place, the situation, really.
Do you think things will get better?
I hope so, yeah. I'm an optimist.
Good, I'm glad about that. Well, we've talked about the music earlier on. We have a look at Kirsty's new video. Here she is with My Affair.
Just a child, my folks would drive me wild. They'd spy upon my every move until it drove me to despair. They told me what to wear, they told me not to cut my hair, but that's all over now. I had to tell them anyhow. It's my affair. Where I go and what I do is my affair. Oh yeah, it's my affair. It's up to me and not to you. Kiss the boy in secret, thrilled me to the very core. I couldn't stop, I wanted more, and I didn't hear the door, and they caught me on the floor with my high affair. And when we first got wed, we used to stay in bed all day and night, all night and day. We bet it'd half our lives away, but that's all over now. We move in higher circles, chomping through the upper crust. I couldn't see you for the dust. And then you met that girl who left you with your money spent, and now it's no concern of yours if I sleep with the president. It's my affair, and if I don't come home tonight, it's my affair. All right. That's how I want to keep it. I kiss the boys in secret, hiding in the parking lot is just as far as I have got. But if the phone should ring and there's no one there, then it's my affair.
Eso es asunto de ella, dónde va y lo que hace. Eso es asunto de ella, dónde va y lo que hace.
Well, it's all over now. You've seen the last of me, and I don't have to put up with you giving me the third degree. So you go on your way, don't come sneaking round the back door trying to get yourself back in where you're not wanted anymore. It's my affair. Shoodaloo-woppa, shoodaloo-wop, it's my affair. Oh yeah, it's my affair. Who I see is up to me. It's my affair.
Great new single there from Kirsty MacColl, and she'll be back later on after 8 o'clock. It's now 5 to 8. Hello, welcome back at 8:34, which is, I have trouble, 26 minutes to 9. It's sort of mental arithmetic going through. And welcome once more to Kirsty MacColl, who's one of our special guests this morning. Hello.
Hello.
Now, listen, what are you laughing for?
Just thinking about you being a Rangers supporter.
What's wrong with that? Because your father's Scottish, isn't he?
My father's Scottish, yeah.
Who does he support?
He doesn't support... I don't think he was really into football, actually.
Oh, really?
Glasgow Rangers got beat 3-1 last night by Dundee United.
Really?
Just thought I'd sort of chip that in. Sorry.
I also said, you may disagree, I thought you looked like Kathleen Turner, actually, when you came on and said that.
I know, I'm really flattered.
Yeah, your hair is kind of
I'm
similar.
really-
Now, listen, you've got a single out just now called My Affair,
Yeah.
and it's from the album Electric.
Landlady.
What's that, or why? Where did you get the title for that from?
Well, Jimi Hendrix had an album out called Electric Ladyland
Right.
quite a few years ago, but...
Very, very naughty front cover, wasn't it?
It was, but I worked in the same studio where he recorded that, and
I thought
it's
you were
called
going to say I
Electric
was on the
Lady
front cover
Studios.
then, so,
Yes, I was. I was naked on his cover, of
Oh,
course.
you're right, of course.
And he was naked on mine, or not.
So you've gone to New York and you recorded it there. Why did you want to go there?
Well, there's a particular brass and string arranger that I wanted to work with, who I'd met a while back, called Angel Fernandez, who's based in New York, and it would have been really hard, I think, trying to get musicians that weren't sort of well-versed in Latin music to try and play the stuff that he wrote, so...
Why are you particularly into Latin music now?
Well, it's just one of the things I'm into, really. I'm into lots of different kinds of styles, and I listen to lots of different stuff, and it's fun, you know.
Yeah.
You can give it all that, you know.
Absolutely. And you're flying off to, or driving or sailing, I don't know, to Ireland this weekend.
That's right. There's a big festival on in Thurles, so I'll be going to that. And I'm going to be gate crashing a couple of those
I was going to say, have they officially invited you, Kirsty? Or
I don't think... They may not let me in, of course, when I arrive, but I should be getting up there with
Who else is on the...
3 bands, I think.
Who's on the bill? Are the Pogues there? Or?
The Pogues are there, yeah, and the Wonder Stuff, and Billy Bragg.
Yeah.
And Happy Mondays are doing it. It's going to be a good show, I think.
Because, of course, you've got to sort of warm yourself up because you've got a tour coming up.
Yeah,
you?
that's right. It's part of my plan to become more brave and go out on the road, you know.
Are you worried about it?
Oh, yes.
Why?
I've just got this terrible fear of the public. I just...
Well, they're quite nice. They're not going to bite you or anything.
Oh, well, I'm going to be there with a, you know, paper bag over my head, a couple of eye holes cut out, and a microphone.
Yeah. So are you actually
And a
busy?
large band.
Are you busy rehearsing for it just now?
I'm starting rehearsals at the end of the month, and
Yeah.
then I'm off.
Yeah. And will they? I mean, can they expect it to get? You know, there's a guy works down the chip shop, swears he's Elvis. Are you going to do one of those?
If they slip me a fiver before the show, it can be arranged, yeah.
Yeah. You're not embarrassed about that, are you? Because some people come on the sofa and say, "Oh, don't talk about X years ago. That's in the past. You know, I don't want to be reminded."
No, I think the failures are more embarrassing than the hits, really.
Yeah.
But no, I think it was a good record, and a lot of women understood it. You know, it seems that men think it's about a man who looks like Elvis, and women realise it's actually about all men.
It's shut up. It's very important to you, of course, just listening to your records, that it's not just pap or nonsense. It's got to have a meaning, or got to have some kind of message, or it's got to be something that actually is a work of something. It's not just blah, blah, blah.
Either that or it's got to be funny, one of the two.
Da-da-dee, da-da-da, whatever one was.
Oh, I like that. I thought that was really good.
You like that?
Yeah.
What was the message behind that, then?
That was about homelessness. You weren't listening, were you?
Well, what does da-da-dee, da-da-da mean, then?
Well, That's just a kind of hook to get you into the rest of the song, isn't it? You know?
All right. Okay, I
I'll
surrender.
get sophisticated.
I
why don't
surrender.
you?
I'm sorry. I surrender. What music do you listen to at home apart from da-da-dee, da-da-da?
Well, I listen to lots of different stuff, really. I'm into this guy called Baba Mal from Senegal at the moment.
Yeah.
He's really good. And, you know, various stuff.
Yeah. And we shouldn't let you go without mentioning that hubby, your other half, is Steve Lillywhite, renowned
I knew that.
producer. I know you knew that, for goodness sake. What's he up to just now? What's he doing?
He's been working with a band called the Trash Can Sinatras,
Yeah.
making an album with them, which should be good. And he's also been doing some stuff with a new band, an Irish band called Engine Alley, who are brilliant as well.
There's a Celtic thing in your life, isn't there? I can see.
Yeah,
this.
it just works out that way. That's good.
All right. Well, listen, have a good weekend in Ireland.
Thank you.
And don't drink too much of the genius.
Just half a Guinness while I'm there, I think.
All right. Kirsty, thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks.